Joined now by Vicki McKenna for CultureCast. Vicki is one of I think, the absolute premier conservative talk show hosts in the entire country, and she's got more testicular fortitude than most of the men do. So glad to have you with us this week, Vicki. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Duke. I appreciate it. I do.
Well, we would be remiss, I think, if we didn't spend a little time talking about the great threat to our culture. Bill Gates and Mindy Gates are getting divorced. There's already actually articles out there from the Washington Post. This is not sarcasm. This is not satire. If Bill and Melinda Gates can't make a marriage work, what hope is there for the rest of us? Vicki, I come to you. What hope do we have without the marriage of Bill and Mindy?
Well, when you build a foundation for your marriage on a shared belief in global depopulation, I don't know why that would fail. It's an absolute shocking tragedy that such a strong foundation for a marriage would actually crumble apart. Now, I read this article. I'm the one. No one else did, but I'm the one. And it says, oh my goodness, they have $27 billion. If you can't make a marriage work with $27 billion, then how are the rest of us going to survive? Because we don't have $27 billion. And I'm thinking to myself, does nobody in, the elite progressive circles of journalism, have any opinion about marriage besides whatever kind of utilitarian value they can squeeze out of it, money, resources, something? I mean, I hear him thinking, well, geez, I based my marriage on love and faith. I guess I'm screwed, according to this article. And it just gives you an idea of why the left devalues marriage so much. They devalue it because they actually put a dollar figure on it.
It is shocking. It is shocking that they made the statement that with $27 billion, they couldn't be happy. They've never watched a romantic comedy in their entire life, apparently.
No.
And I like what you said before. My comment about the whole thing was, if murdering unborn babies in Africa isn't a stable foundation for a loving marriage, I don't know what is. And we've got the follow-up story, to the surprise of nobody, that Bill Gates had an agreement with Mindy. We wonder why this didn't work. He had an agreement with his wife that he could spend one weekend every year with his former girlfriend. My thoughts on this are, if you spend all your year around crappy Microsoft products, every now and then you got to download a little Apple, right?
I didn't see that article. And small wonder the marriage failed when fidelity was not something that was high on the priority list for Bill and Mindy. And here's again, being serious, most women aren't built that way. And so even though she probably, in good progressive that she is, perhaps she made the calculation, well, you know what, I can handle it. It's once a year. It's, 27 years, $27 billion, 27 times. I've got to suck this up and deal with it. 27, that's $1 billion a time. Yeah, I can do it. Not realizing that your husband stepping out on you, no matter, how much money he has, is probably something most women can't handle.
Yeah, talking about an indecent proposal every single year. And that's
what a creep. What a creep.
Well, he's a creep, but what does it say about her? He is a creep. All right?
She's a sellout. She's a gold-digging sellout.
And you would think, here's the irony, it seems to me, with Bill Gates. Apparently, Mindy's up for it, right? You could spend a week with anybody on the planet, and you pick what? Where are you going exactly? As far as Bill Gates goes, though, and Mindy, you think about the Bezos divorce, right? And you wonder now if we're going to be able to see a divergence in their political background, if there's going to be a rift down the middle of what causes they support. But I think that's exactly right. This is one of the. We're trying to make as much fun of this as we can, because actually it always is fun when you take this guy, Bill Gates, who, please explain to me, what is he qualified for? Why is he such a UN global figure? Why, when every crisis hits the country, whether it's COVID or global warming, why is he always somebody we consult? He's as shallow as possible. We now know he's creepy in his personal life. Other than having billions of dollars, what qualifies Bill Gates to offer social commentary on anything?
Exactly nothing. And the guy seems also to be, socially backward, quite honestly. And if you read anything about him, he does appear to have that kind of, that personality type. But he's rich, he's liberal, and he's powerful. And that is all that matters. Jeff Bezos, rich, liberal, powerful. Prince Charles. What the hell does Prince Charles have to say about climate change? How does this guy know anything? Rich, liberal, powerful. And so that's all it takes. It's all it takes for the progressives is that if you're in their circle and you actually can select a very nice, high-end, impressive wine to go with, the tapas or the mid-course. You're qualified. You're certainly more qualified than Patrick Michaels, who's a proper climate scientist who disagrees with the assertions from these elite progressives. You're certainly more qualified than Michael Yeadon, who is the director of vaccine research at Pfizer. You're certainly more qualified than these guys because you not only can select the right wine, but you're rich, you're progressive, and you're powerful.
Well, my big concern initially was going to be who's going to get the Margaret Sanger Award for modern day eugenics. And then it dawned on me, they can just cut it in half like it were a baby and split it, right? A fitting ending for a fitting marriage. After the break, I want to come back and talk to you a little bit about the CIA going woke. This isn't going to end badly, is it?
Not at all.
All right, back again with Vicki McKenna for CultureCast, and we really have to talk about this story. The CIA under Joe Biden has gone fully woke, right? And so now they're showing us their commitment to wokeness by a video. Before I turn to you for commentary, let's take a look at what the CIA is up to today.
I'm a woman of color. I am a mom. I am a cisgender millennial who's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am intersectional, but my existence is not a box-checking exercise. I am a walking declaration, a woman whose inflection does not rise at the end of her sentences, suggesting that a question has been asked. I did not sneak into CIA. My employment was not and is not the result of a fluke or slip through the cracks. I earned my way in, and I earned my way up the ranks of this organization. I am educated, qualified, and competent, and sometimes I struggle. I struggle feeling like I could do more, be more to my two sons, and I struggle leaving the office when I feel there's so much more to do. I used to struggle with imposter syndrome, but at 36, I refuse to internalize misguided patriarchal ideas of what a woman can or should be.
So she just gets to telling you that her hiring is not checking off boxes on a diversity list, and then she tells you that she's cisgendered, right? She's cisgendered, male, female. All these boxes that she then proceeds to tick off. I don't even think she's aware of the irony of her own statements. She's been diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, and she has imposter syndrome. This is going to work out really. I don't either.
So I guess what the CIA wants are people who have, again, checked the boxes on the right politics. She's not a box checking experiment. Of course she is. Of course she is. But mentally ill people who are unstable, do you really want to put people like this in the field? I'm just saying, this is nothing against people who have generalized anxiety disorder or anybody who's been diagnosed with a mental illness. But my strong suspicion is that you would agree with me, you probably don't belong in a high stress situation that could have an adverse impact on your mental health, which could have an adverse impact on your ability to survive. This is the new CIA. It has nothing to do with covert operations. In fact, Duke, I talked to a former chief of station, CIA undercover operative and also former chief of station yesterday, who said the entire operations division of the CIA, this is the covert ops, this is espionage, these are the people who train in the trade craft that allow them to do the things that we make cool movies about, has been shut down and has been shut down since the Obama administration, where now what you have going on is everybody who, we're gonna go down the road of diversity hires. Everything's got to be about social justice and woke this or anti-racism or I don't even know. Cisgender, LGBTQ, WTF identity. And at the same time they're doing that, they're not actually training people for field work. So if let's say you're that Latina, you forgot to mention that Latina CIA agent, they need someone to deal with, I don't know, an investigation of a cartel syndicate, and you're the only one who knows how to speak Spanish, but you don't know anything about tradecraft, and you have a generalized anxiety disorder, and you've been struggling with imposter syndrome, whatever the hell that means. Now you're going to go deal in a covert operation with something you've never been trained for at a time where you are, popping pills for some kind of disorder that you might have. This is what the Obama administration thought was the right way to do. Recon work, espionage work, covert operations in the CIA. This is what we've been up against since 2015.
Well, the reality is that she must not clearly have a serious job there, or else they wouldn't be revealing her identity. They wouldn't be giving you 8,000 points of her biography. They wouldn't be exposing all of her personal weaknesses to the American people and anybody else who's watching if she had a job that was very serious. And so clearly you're
making an assumption. You would have made the assumption that the CIA would have never actually gone down the path of diversity hires. Like we see, we're seeing that medicine is going to start looking for people to check the diversity boxes for nurses and CNAs and doctors and surgeons, and pilots are going to have to check the diversity box, to make sure that everybody is sufficiently diverse so that the airline is sufficiently inclusive. I don't really want to get on an airplane where someone doesn't know how to fly a plane, just like I wouldn't want to work at an agency where someone isn't trained to actually do what they're supposed to do, or go to a hospital where a doctor isn't trained at the highest levels of the skill set of that field to take care of a patient. But we would have predicted none of those other things would have happened either. We would have predicted that you would not have been hiring a dean of science at an engineering school who would say that getting the answer right and math doesn't matter. But here we are, Duke. So they may not honestly care whether or not they expose that woman. And at the same time, then again, maybe she's just answering phones. I don't know.
Well, again, and what you said, I think, is a good way to sum up here. I went all my life, I'm sure you've never seen one before too, all our lives without ever seeing a commercial for the CIA. Right? We've gone all of our lives. This is not something the CIA is in the business of doing, but under the Obama administration, that changed. And now what the CIA's primary purpose, like the FBI and all the other governments of this agencies of this government, the first thing you got to be is a virtue signaling liberal. And so they put together one of the most obsequious virtue signaling commercials I have ever seen to tout how woke the CIA is. Remember that the next time they got to waterboard somebody, right? They're going to do it in the most kindest, gentlest sort of way, right? They're going to make sure that your waterboarding experience is going to be multicultural. That it's not just going to be some white guy when you come up from the water gasping for air. It's just not some evil white face looking. Maybe our Latino cisgendered anxiety disorder person will be standing there.
Whoever tortures you.
Yes,
whoever tortures you is going to at least be checking diversity boxes, and that should make you feel really, really great. Everybody, if you're under the age of 45 years old, should Google Monty Python's The Spanish Inquisition.
That's it.
And you're welcome.
That's all you need. Drop the mic. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Most of you know our show is being censored by big tech.
While this makes it harder to meet the cost of producing the show, that's part of it. It also demonstrates that we must be having tremendous success, or they wouldn't bother to try to shut us down.
If you like hearing truth and common sense with a love for freedom, please join the Patriot Club with a one-time $99 tax-deductible donation. And you'll get this sweet vessel of joy as part of a thank you for joining the Patriot Club.
Etched with the American flag and the words freedom never tasted so good.
All you have to do is visit patriotclub.us and become a Patriot member today.
That's patriotclub.us. Thank you and God bless.